Hello and welcome to Affinity. This is the fourth and final video on the Alpha Control macro set, which is free and you can download from the link below, and you put it into the library. To get there, go to View Studio and Library, and when here, click on here and import from here, or you can do a drag and drop. So anyway, we're going to look at the bottom 5 of them. They're pretty simple. We're going to start from the bottom one first. So these three are very much the same: alpha to white, alpha to black, and alpha to red. And all they do is, if I click on the alpha to white, it takes the alpha, the transparent bit, and it just makes it white. And it puts it into a new layer as well, so you can take that off and see what was below. And you can see there it just puts a white background onto it, which is often all you might want to do, but it lets you see it in perhaps a more natural setting. And also some things will stand out more than if you got this checkerboard on it. So if I delete that, sometimes white you don't want, because if you've got white around here or light coloured here, for example, in which case you can do alpha to black. Exactly the same thing, and now you've got a black background. And if you're doing a black and white image, then you want something else to contrast to show the background, and you might want to use an alpha to red, and that again gives you a red background, so that it lets you clearly see the edges of your image, again on a new layer, so that all you can do is hit delete or Control Z to undo to get rid of it. Okay, well, that's the bottom 3. One above that is alpha map, which simply drops this into a black and white map, just like a macro. So black means it is alpha is 0, which means it is completely transparent. White means alpha is 1, which means it is completely opaque, and grey will be the ones in between. And so you can see that you get those greys there, and there's a bit here as well which shows this one quite selected fully, etc. But it means you can use this quite simply as a map, in which case you right click on that and go down to rasterize to mask if you want to use it as a mask, or just use it as a visual indicator. Okay, that's those. Last one is Flatten Alpha, and what this does is, I'm going to get up, go View Studio and Info, and if you move alongside here, and what you can see is in these spaces here, if you look at the indicators here, yes, let's use one of these, bring that over here, so it's kind of into space here. But you've got alpha there is 2, which means it is very, very, very faint. But you've got red, green and blue values. So if I'm going to pull this up, this actually is going to turn into a colour. You can see red is slightly above, then green, then blue, so you're going to get red and green acting together, so it'll be yellowish, a bit dark, so perhaps brownish in that area. So we're going to effectively just going to pull alpha all the way up by doing this. So I click on Flatten Alpha, and you can see here that's where that is. And if I just bring back the info panel, you can see that point there, same red, green, blue values, but now alpha is 255, which is the maximum, which means it's pulled up to be opaque. So you can really see here where the semi-transparent areas, you know exactly what information you've got in there, because that's been pulled right up, which lets you say, let's pull back a bit of information here. So it tells you a little bit more about what you can select. So it's just an information panel again. Out here it's gone black because there's no information. Just to let you know, if I go to this one here, which has got the original one here, so this is the background, and then I've selected it out like this. If I go to this layer here and select it and do a Flatten Alpha on that, notice the background here turns into the same one, the one underneath, which is original here. So it's somehow picked that up, even though that has let go. If I undo this, and let's go back to the before the Flatten Alpha, and if I just take the bottom layer out altogether, so I delete that, so I've only got this in here. Now if I do a Flatten Alpha, it's still found it. Somehow it's finding it, which seems rather odd, but it's useful to know how that is working. Anyway, those are the 5 new extra macros in there, very simple ones, but can be very useful to see what's happening. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.